Oh, Steve and Larson! Don't you dare be sour. Clap for yourselves and feel the power. Yes. And all you people out there, you're watching Going In Raw with Steve and Larson.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you'll be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson, where tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live streaming our reactions to Impact Wrestling's Against All Odds. Our predictions went up in today's news beef, so you can check those out there. Meanwhile, at 3 p.m. Pacific, the Enforcer will be walking Cal Jack to the ring for Amped Up Wrestling out of Los Angeles, California. A live show. You can check it out if you're in the Southern California area. It's in Compton, I believe, and it should be a lot of fun. I've watched a lot of the promos on their Instagram, and it seems like there's a lot of really fun characters coming out of Amped Up Pro Wrestling. So go check that out. If you want a picture with the Enforcer or with Big Red or both of them, Cal Jack, or any of the other characters there at Amped Up, I'm sure maybe they'll make themselves available to take pictures. Maybe they won't. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for them. But the Enforcer has indicated that he's down for that. Yes. So check that out if you're in the Los Angeles area. Otherwise, at 5 p.m., we're going to be going live at Impact. Live reactions.
Against all odds, yes.
Against all odds. And then on Sunday, of course, we're going to be doing the same thing for TakeOver here on the YouTube.
TakeOver in your house.
Your house.
That is correct.
That's correct.
Any other bits of business we need to get to before we get this thing started? Start talking about Smackdown tonight?
I don't believe so.
Every week you think Roman Reigns. I mean, you already think he's like the best thing in WWE by far.
Yeah.
But it's like every week he finds a way to continually top what he did just the week prior. There's always several instances where he has a little detail that you're like, oh man, that's really good. He does something that is unexpected this week. Power bombing Dom out of the ring.
Yeah.
Like week in and week out, he just continually ups the ante in terms of what he brings as a character. And it's so darn good to see.
It's awesome. I thought that everything involving him was awesome this week. I thought there was a couple of other things that were pretty cool about this week and a couple of duds. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Roman is the best thing. It's like him and The Way there in NXT are my two favorite things in WWE these days under the umbrella. And Roman is just everything he does. Yeah, I appreciate his performance. At the same time, I want to see the dude get his ass kicked. He's doing such great work. He just gets under your skin. He gets in your lungs. And all the manipulation that he's doing with the Usos is just really just the performances across the board, and this whole thing is great. And then, like I've been saying over the past months, it's great because they rope in. I mean, obviously they need to reload challengers for Roman Reigns. And everybody that gets roped into it, they put in really magnificent performances. I thought Rey's promos, his promo tonight, I thought they were all really great. And then obviously at the end, it was just a wildly entertaining, fight between Rey and Roman with the kendo stick. And then Dom shows up during the ooh-ah, and then he gets powerbombed. Man, I think they're doing a really great job. In the earlier days of Roman Reigns as head of the table, he had to use Jay a lot for stuff. And now they're showing, man, this guy is a menace on his own because he didn't have Jay back in his play. He just handled the Mysterios tonight,
Yeah. Seemingly starting with WrestleMania, him smashing, stacking, pinning 1, 2, 3, both Edge, Daniel Bryan. He's been basically a juggernaut, unstoppable. Going back to performances, I can't say enough good about not only Roman, but both Jay and Jimmy Uso. In terms of bringing dimension to their characters, Jay especially, week in and week out, just you could see the conflict in just his body language alone. He doesn't have to say a word.
Yep. Yeah, Jay is doing
really spectacular stuff.
He's doing great work. I have no idea No idea how this is going to play out because I feel like it's the kind of thing where I don't think Jimmy is simply going to submit. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the kind of thing where they're going to copy and paste from Jay. But I don't know.
I mean, it's already not. Yeah, it's already not that.
It's already not that. Well, I was thinking more like, okay, after Hell in a Cell, it's going to be SummerSlam, and it's not going to be Roman versus Jimmy. It's probably going to be like the dirt sheets are saying, like Cena or something like that. It's going to be a high profile match.
Yeah.
And then where does that leave us after that? Where does that leave the Usos? I have no idea, but it's every single week. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff.
I mean, it seemed like this week was the week that Roman really found the area in Jimmy's psyche that he could exploit to get to him. And that was Jay, you know?
Yeah.
Like this week was the week, all right, he discovered how he can get into Jimmy's head. And now we're going to see week after week how Roman goes about getting boring deeper and deeper and deeper until, Jimmy could acknowledge him in much the same manner that Jay already has.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. I thought it was really good. And then we got also the debut. I had to text you because I didn't watch last week. I had to text you, hey, was Otis smooth last week? But no. Otis
water went down the wrong pipe.
Uh-oh. I know. I'm trying to cover for you. Otis, we got smooth monster Otis.
Yeah. He was smooth and he was mean. It's like someone played a prank on him and shaved his beard off, and he was mad about it.
Is the Dynamite Kid back? Somebody still in that gimmick?
Well, he had his eyebrows.
Otis going to show up with a roll of quarters next? Golly, watch out for our Dark Side review tomorrow. So anyways, oh man, here's the match. We're doing this podcast while we're watching Dynamite.
It's been a really fun episode of Dynamite so far. Miro just threw the belt.
He did that last week. It was awesome.
Oh, it's great. Miro's the best.
It's really. He's about to murder this poor sad sack.
He's gonna beat the heck out of Evil Uno.
So yeah, it was. I love that entire chunk of stuff. The Gable, the backstage bit with Gable and the Prophets. The match itself, I thought was stellar. It was really good. So good.
Really
there was a little botchiness on the pin because Otis took his time to get there. Apparently,
oh yeah, Otis was late, so Gable had to bury Montez Ford's finish.
He did. He was staring. He was staring. He was staring right through Otis walking down. He's like, "Would you hurry the fuck up, please?"
Oh, I gotta kick it out.
I gotta bury this finish like Sid buried Hogan's finish. So yeah, that had to happen. But beyond that, and then Otis just completely annihilated the Prophets and especially Montez. And it was a thing of beauty. Like it was awkward. It was awkward bad. It was pretty great.
It was. All in all, I think the only misstep in my mind, really, I think I keep going back to this Baron Nakamura stuff. It's the same thing every week. It's like the most raw thing going on SmackDown.
Okay, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's an end game. They announced it.
I know they set up the rubber match, the best of 5 final bout, and hopefully that's the end of it.
They gave it a name. I'd like to think it is the end of it because next week. So. Next week's the go home to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, so they could have a wonky finish and then have the actual match at Hell in a Cell. Though that's entirely possible.
Yeah, it's possible. I kind of feel like this is a thing that should be just kept to SmackDown. It's over a silly crown. Uno, just forfeit. So good. Oh wow, good job, Uno. So, anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this. We'll get into the good and the bad. And, it kicked off with a recap of all the Roman stuff from last week. Awesome for me because I only saw it on social media. And then the recap, it's revealed, has been watched this entire time by Roman Reigns, who's watching said recap in his suite. Jay sits next to him all awkward. Roman says, I saved you last week. Y'all owe me. What's the one thing that I won't stand for, Jay? And he says, never embarrass the family, Oos. I know you understand that. But does your brother? So then Jimmy Uso comes to the ring, yeah.
Yeah, I love this because you hear the Usos music hits, and it takes a while for Roman to recognize it. When he does, he kind of looks up and the camera pans with it.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it was good stuff.
Following the notes to the ring.
Yeah.
So Jimmy comes down the ring and he says, last week was supposed to be a celebration. Tonight, they're supposed to be in the ring 7-time champs, but no, they got robbed. He says, I'm not out here making excuses. I'm spitting facts. First, the ref blew the call. We got around to that he came, the head of the table, sticking his nose in our business, just had to make it about him. Roman couldn't let them go take what was theirs. Says Roman got them DQ'd on purpose. You cut backstage. Roman is watching. Jay says, what's the point? You came out, you beat up Rey, you choked out Dom. He knows what it is. He knows what Roman's issue is. He's jealous of Jimmy. Jealous that Jimmy wants his brother. Jealous they want to rep the family and hold gold just like him. With all the mind games that Roman's doing, he's trying to tear his brother from him, but he's his brother's keeper, not Roman. Tonight, he promises he's going to do something that he won't regret. We cut back to Roman. He tells Jay, hey, that's not my brother. No one's going to confuse me with you. You got to go take care of this.
We get back from commercial backstage. We see the entrances for the tag match coming up, but then we get backstage. Jimmy is sort of laying into Jay, gets Jay to admit that they could have won last week. Jimmy says, you froze on me. He says, Roman's disgracing our family now. You've been gone. And Jay comes back with, you've been gone for a year. And Jay was so great here. He says, you've been gone for a year, and I'm stuck in the middle of this now, and I don't know how to get out of it. So Jimmy says, hey, you tell Roman if he wants to see me, I'll be in my locker room.
I'll be in our locker room.
Our locker room, yeah, our locker room. Yeah, the Usos' locker room. They got their own locker room.
Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Sunday. You know, Steve, typically this time of year, I'll look out this window right here at my backyard, at my lawn, and just it's an absolute mess, man. Just brown spots and patches of weeds. It's no good.
Yeah, dude, mine's a mess too. But then I said to myself, Steve, it's time to get serious about your lawn care, and that's why I've turned to Sunday. You see, Sunday makes taking care of your lawn easier than ever. They take out all the guesswork and unwanted chemicals so you can grow a lush green lawn that's better for people, pets, and the planet.
And all you got to do is go to getsunday.com, put in your home address, and their free lawn analysis tool creates a tailored nutrient plan based on soil and climate data. You get all the stuff your lawn needs and nothing it doesn't.
Plus, Sunday explains exactly what you need and why you need it, which makes lawn care easy for people like me who struggle to keep their lawn looking green. All I had to do was attach the ready-to-use pouch to my hose and then just spray. Now, instead of taking all day to care for my lawn, I can get it done in like less than 15 minutes.
So let Sunday take the guesswork out of growing a greener, more beautiful lawn this spring. Visit getsunday.com/GIR to get $20 off your custom lawn plan at checkout.
That's $20 off your custom plan at getsunday.com/GIR. After that, we had a tag match. Kevin Owens and Big E versus Apollo and Sami Zayn.
This is fun.
What's that?
It's a fun match.
This is a fun match. I just feel like, I sort of pay attention these days to like what's really necessary on a show. This was kind of unnecessary because it just motivated what this match should have been anyways, which was Apollo and Commander Aziz, which is what we're going to be getting next week. So it was fine. It was good. I still wish that there was a bit more tension between Kevin Owens and Big E going back all that ways.
Yeah, I know. There was a little bit, I believe, when Big E came down to the ring and was kind of horsing around a little bit, and Kevin Owens was like,
yeah.
There's a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But I mean, I love all these performers. They're all fantastic. Owens ended up getting the pin for his team with the stunner on Sammy after Big E and Apollo sort of took themselves out to the outside. Afterwards, Apollo says, Kevin Owens and Big E seem to have bonded a bit from the win. They're going up the stage, and Apollo says, hey, why are you celebrating? The only reason you won is because I was burdened with that idiot Sami Zayn. How about next week we do this again, but this time it's you two against me and my Commander Aziz. And they accept. And Sami says, hey, who are you calling an idiot? You're a fraud. You set me up. You're working with Kevin Owens to keep me away from that Intercontinental Championship. You owe me an apology. And then he gets hit with the Nigerian nail. Yeah. And he's like, how'd you like that? How's your neck feel?
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
It was good stuff. We get a quick bit with Rey Mysterio talking to Adam Pearce backstage, and then we get Street Profits. They're backstage as well. Chad Gable walks up to him, says, hey, here to apologize for what Otis did last week. Gable says, I didn't actually want an apology. And as a gesture, I got her tag match canceled tonight. And Ford's like, whoa, 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 whoa. As a favor, or as a gesture, he says, well, Gable, you can't control Otis, but they can. And if Otis steps up to them, we'll send him back to the Jurassic period. Then Dawkins starts making fun of Otis having short arms, like a T-Rex.
Yeah.
And so Gable says, oh, yeah, oh, really? Yeah? Well, you just talked yourself back into a match, this time with me. So at first, Dawkins steps up. Ford says, no, I want him. Dawkins eventually relents. Gable says, well, I'm not going to bring Otis ringside so long as Dawkins stays backstage as well. Profits accept those terms. And Gable says, as he's leaving, Otis is still angry.
Dawkins should have had eyes in the back of his head during that match then, because we saw what happens. Anyways, afterwards, Jay goes to Roman, relays the info. Roman says, why is he putting you in the middle of this? The Usos locker room? You sure they don't call it Roman's cousin's locker room? All right, tell your brother I'm coming. After that, we had Carmella versus Liv Morgan. So last week they had a match where Liv got caught in Carmella's submission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this week, Carmella has control for much of it. She has Liv against the ropes. Carmella goes for a super kick. Liv grabs it, drapes her leg on the ropes, and then hits her finish Oblivion for 3.
Yeah.
Which is that great, like, sort of...
It's a flatliner.
It's like a flatliner up against the ropes. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Type thing. It's pretty great.
And then after the match... So now they're doing a gimmick where Carmella is the most beautiful woman.
The self-proclaimed most beautiful woman in WWE. And so after her loss, after she loses, she just waves over Greg Hamilton, says something to him, and then he says, but still, the most beautiful woman in WWE, Carmella. So she seems to be relatively not that bothered by the loss.
Yeah. That's her championship.
I guess so.
Is the most, but I like when they do that. I mean, I don't know where this is going to go. It might be cheesy, might not be cheesy, but I like, it's kind of like Corbin's crown thing. And I know they've just done the same thing. They've sort of copied and pasted for like literally 4 weeks now with Corbin's crown. But I always like the idea of, hey, somebody has a personal item that means something to them. Somebody takes it and they fight for it. Because it's like a championship without a championship, I like that stuff.
Oof, this is a good match. It's close.
Yeah, man. Who knows about
quality contest. After that, we had Ding Dong Hello, special guest Seth Rollins. So Bayley introduces Seth. Man, that suit Seth was rocking, that was spectacular.
It's pretty beautiful. You want to try to describe it? It's like
tritone. There was white panels on the sports coat. There was a very pale pink, and then kind of a lavender panel. Yeah. And then the lapels were lavender. He had I believe they were white pants, and then a white shirt and a pale pink tie. It was something else.
It looked pretty beautiful, but it
wasn't something else.
Didn't stay on him for long.
No.
So Brock Lesnar, WWE champion Brock Lesnar, comes down. At least that's what the her lower third said. It was Bayley, and so Seth, he respects. They have mutual respect. So he goes through the door, and he butters her up, says, "Hey, lately you've been at the next level, putting Bianca in her place. What's with kids these days and the lack of respect?" He says last week was a masterclass in mind games. Let's roll that footage. They show the bit from last week with all the Thunderdome screens with her laughing. So they come back. Both of them are laughing. Then Bayley rolls footage of Seth attacking Cesaro. Comes back and he sort of gives her a real stern face, but it's all just a ruse. It's all a joke. They both laugh some more. Then the doorbell rings and Seth's like, oh, what surprise is this that you got? Did you order some pizza? And then she's like, oh, I have no idea what that is. It's hilarious.
Did you get me a gift?
Yeah, and it's obvious neither of them know what's going on, but they both think they both know what's going on. So Seth's like, I'll get it. He gets up. He opens the door at Cesaro. He gives him just a straight right hand punch.
It was great.
It was pretty awesome. Lays him out.
Seth's pants got ripped off.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but those things came off, and he went scurrying away with just his undergarments.
In his undies, yeah. That was because they got ripped or something, and Cesaro just yanks them off.
Yeah, and this Maggie points this out in chat. Says Bayley covering her eyes when Cesaro ripped off Seth's pants was the most adorable bit. It was pretty funny.
It was pretty great. It was great.
Then as Cesaro's sort of standing in the ring triumphant, Bailey is devastated. She's like trying to put the set back together. And then Bianca's music hits. See, this would have been a much more appropriate intro.
This is a really good vignette they got running here for Andrade right now.
This would have been a much better way to introduce him. Oh, he's got a jet. Bianca comes out and she starts laughing.
Yeah.
Then we had a Rey Mysterio interview where he's asked about Dom. He says, Dom is hurt. Reigns hurt my boy. This is a really good interview, by the way.
It was solid stuff.
He says, I don't care how big you are, who you are. I'm coming after you if you hurt my son. I vowed from the day he was born to be responsible for him, to protect him. And last week I failed. But his injuries weren't a freak accident. They were caused by a man who claims to be all about family, who won't think twice about ruining his own. He says, Roman, you could do what you want with your family, but leave mine alone. This is my son, my reason for being. And at the end of the night, you better be ready because I'm calling you out.
Yep. After that, we had Montez Ford versus Chad Gable. This is a hell of a technical bout. Early on, Ford goes for a leapfrog. Gable kind of ducks it, grabs Ford's ankle, sinks in an ankle lock. And then Montez bridges back to roll up Gable. He has to kick out and thus break the ankle lock. It was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Later on, Ford tries to hit a slingshot move. Gable catches him right into a Northern Lights suplex.
That was so
suplex.
Sick. Yeah.
That was great. That gets him a 2 count. They do a double fun splash spot. And we cut, and Dawkins is backstage, rooting on Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Otis destroys him from behind,
yeah.
throws him into some road cases. So back in the ring, Ford and Gable are trading punches. Ford hits a spine buster, standing moonsault, gets a 2, goes up, hits a frog splash. Pretty sure Otis is supposed to be out to break up this pin before Gable has to kick out. But he's late. Gable has to kick out.
Ford was taking I don't know if Otis was trying to stay in character and like not run or something or be menacing, because Ford took forever to pin. Gable was like looking in like a state of panic at how far away Otis was. And that ref took forever to get down, took forever to get to 2. And on that third one, like Gable basically got his shoulder up right as Otis was getting into frame. And so it was enough of a, they're not going to reference Gable kicking out of Ford's finish there because it's a pretty protected finisher. But then Otis attacks Montez, gives him a splash. Dawkins comes down. He's taken out immediately because he's still suffering from the earlier attack. Otis gives him another Vader bomb. And then Dawkins is great. Dawkins covers Montez to try to protect him from more damage. Refs come down, and then according to WWE's social media, Montez has a cracked rib, I think, or something like that.
Oof.
So,
really selling the effects of that beatdown.
Yeah.
Next, we got Nakamura versus Corbin again, 4th time in the last month. So opening bell rings, Boog's out there shredding. This distracts Corbin. Nakamura gets the early advantage, hits a D off the top. That gets him a 2, goes for a Kinshasa. Corbin counters with a deep 6. In the end, Nakamura rolls up Corbin to get the win. As soon as he's up, though, Baron blasts Nakamura from behind, stares at Boogs. So Boogs is at the foot of the ramp. Mm-hmm. Baron's staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
So Boogs then runs around the ring to commentary, I assume either to escape or get the crown before Baron gets it.
Mm-hmm.
If he's running to escape, he ran the wrong way. He should have ran up the ramp.
Yeah.
So you got to think he's running around to get the crown before Baron gets it. Anyways, Baron, obviously in the middle of the ring, has a much shorter path to get to commentary, and the Boogs has to run all the way around the ring, is already there, slams his head into the announce table, takes the crown, puts it on, backs up, so he's right on against the apron, basically. Nakamura just reaches over, grabs the crown, puts it on his head, and then Boogs tosses Corbin over the announce table.
Yep. Yeah.
Then we get Roman backstage. He's texting on the phone. He stops. He looks at Jay and says, I'm ready.
Let's go to your locker room. After that, we had Adam Pearce and Sonya backstage. Corbin comes in with a head full of steam, orders Pearce to have Shinsuke return his crown. Pearce and Sonya kind of laugh him off, and he's like, hey, this is serious business. Pearce is like, I know it is. And they announce they're going to have a battle for the crown next week. He says, you've got 2 wins. Shinsuke's got 2 wins. We'll settle it next week. One last match.
Yep. Then we get Jimmy in his locker room. Roman walks in. Roman motions to Paul to hand him the title. He does, and says to Paul, "We need a minute." He asks Jimmy if he understands. What? He points to the belt, and Jimmy says, "I don't care about that. I don't care about the title. I care about what's in here." He points at his chest. He says, "I watched you, Roman, abuse Jay for a whole year, hurt him to his soul." He says, "I don't want to take your place, Roman, but you've been doing what you're doing since we were kids." He says, "You're going to be a Hall of Famer, but you're not going to be inducted as Roman Reigns. You're going to be inducted as a spoiled bitch."
Oof, oof.
So Jay's in there too. Sorry. Roman turns to Jay and says, "You're putting Jay in the middle." Jimmy denies he's doing that. Jay says, so he's standing literally between Roman and Jimmy.
Bickering. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jay says, "Enough. I lost my spot." Jimmy says, "I'm tired of this. I'm tired of both of you. I'm out." So he leaves. And Jimmy's like, pretty much says, "All right, let's throw down right now, Roman. Let's fight. Let's box." And Roman laughs him off. He says, "You want to fight me? We aren't little kids anymore. This is our family business."
What have I done? Why would you do this to your brother?
And then he starts boring into Jimmy's head.
Yeah, you're twins, but who came out first?
Yep.
You're the older brother. I should be able to depend on you. Jay should be able to depend on you. We should be the best every week. That's all I know, how to be the best. Why would you treat your brother like that? How could you? Since day one, right? Busts his house for a whole year, elevates himself, and you let him go? Don't do this to him. Make this right with him, with us. This is our family. And Jimmy's fucked up in the head right now, so he just leaves. He's like, oh, man. Roman just was, it sounds like truth what he's speaking to me right now. Oof.
Yeah, no.
But it's all manipulation, Larson. It's all manipulation.
And I'm happy they didn't go, because so Jimmy leaves and Roman goes, picks up the Universal title and stands there. I'm happy. No smirk.
I know.
No smile. Just kind of stone face for the most part.
He's genuine. He's not a freaking. He's not a cartoon villain. Who's twiddling his mustache or whatever metaphor I'm trying to get at here. He's sincere because that's what effed up people are. They think they're in the right.
Yep. Exactly. Then finally, Rey Mysterio comes out. He hits the ring. He calls out Roman. He says, "Roman, you disrespected my family. I'm out here. I'm waiting." No Roman. Rey calls him out again. This time, Roman heads to the ring, and Rey says, "I acknowledge you, Roman. I acknowledge you for the rat bastard you are. I acknowledge you as a rat bastard who put his hands on my son. I acknowledge you as a man I'm willing to fight, even if I lose. And I acknowledge you as a man I want to fight inside Hell in a Cell. Now that I laid out my challenge, it's your turn to acknowledge." And Rey throws the mic at Roman's feet. And Roman kind of looks at it, smirks, puts his hand out, came and had another one under his suit jacket.
Surprise.
Oh, it was so good. And Roman says, "I acknowledge you as a father." And then a kendo stick materializes at Rey Mysterio's seat, seemingly.
How did that happen? Where was that thing?
It must have been Dom who put it in.
Even McAfee said, "Where did that thing come from?"
I know. So there's a kendo there now. Rey hits with a couple shots. Roman catches a shot, headbutts Rey. He's looking to powerbomb him. And when Rey is bent over to get up for the powerbomb, he grabs the kendo again. He starts hitting Roman with it. Again, Roman fights him off, tosses him out of the ring, hits him with a Superman punch, sets up for a spear, and he's doing the ooh-ah. Dom from behind, whack with the kendo.
Great. That was so great. The TV, you know what? I know people. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Everybody shits on the TV production at WWE. This was awesome. This was
well done.
So well executed.
It was. So then Roman boots him and then power bombs him out of the ring. We don't see impact, so you got to assume crash pad, but still, it was well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a jarring moment that it was so sudden that you couldn't, like the idea that it was staged, that it was, edited and stuff and done for safety.
Exactly.
It didn't even cross. I mean, inherently, but it's like it didn't take away from the drama. I was like, holy shit. I like shrieked out loud. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And so then Rey hits Roman from behind with the kendo. He goes, checks on Dom, and then Roman just come over and boots Rey in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I love how when Roman especially was set up for the spear, he was getting position, getting himself hyped for it, and then he wince. He hold his arm just for like a millisecond.
Yeah, right.
To get back to what he needed to do. It was good stuff. Roman's so good right now. He's on a whole other level.
He's on a whole nother level. You love to see it. I mean, the faith that they had in him is now like validated because it's like, God damn it, he's so good. I don't understand people who don't get this stuff. It's so good. Anyways, let's go ahead and answer some questions. I've got a thread right here on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. It's a great way to support Going In Raw. We've got all sorts of reward tiers, including some bonus content in the Friendo Care Package. You want a Steven Larson comic book? We got that. You want Steven Larson stickers? We got that too in your Friendo Care Package right there on the Patreon. Cameron Bortolazzo with news that WWE is trying to get The Rock for Survivor Series. Do you think you'd be on a team with Roman to set up a match at Mania? Would he join Roman first before he realizes that his cousin is a prick, and then that motivates the encounter?
Or would Rock just say, "I've been watching"?
Yeah, I've actually been watching the show.
I'll get home from a hard day of work on the movie set. Doesn't Rock have his own brand of tequila? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Take a sip of my tequila and watch some SmackDown. And wow, Roman, you're a real prick these days.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And to skip that whole opening act, I suppose they could do that too if they are short on time and need to advance the story at a faster pace.
If every Rock appearance counts, which you know it does.
Yes.
The guy made probably $100 million last year. Then yeah, I doubt they would take the long road. But I do wish it was something a little meatier than, hey, I notice on TV you're a prick, and I have a problem with that.
I mean, ideally it would be, I see you're a prick. You know, hey, you may be hot stuff here in WWE, but look who's really making the money for this family.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they want to bring. I mean, that's really big dog in a guy. It makes Roman Reigns look like Eli Drake, you know, or LA Knight rather, in that current storyline. How like he's the guy who pales in comparison to The Rock.
But then Roman, by beating him, can ascend to Rock level, start making hundreds of millions of dollars. You know,
Rock grabs a $1,000 bill and starts wiping his tears away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to motivate it, but it should be interesting.
I don't know either. It should be interesting. Evolution with the sub here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Scroll
much.
down to find a question
here we go.
here.
Rob Conway, guys, back. Says, hey, friendos, not SmackDown related, but wanted to get your thoughts on the idea of Jake Atlas interfering in the $1 million title ladder match since he's beat both Grimes and LA Knight on TV the last few weeks. I don't like the idea of him interfering, but I like the idea of him being a guy to step up to LA Knight if he wins. I mean, Cameron Grimes is a face now, so I don't see that happening necessarily. But yeah, I'd like to see him get involved in the $1 million title scene if that becomes the thing. Yeah.
If that's the thing, yeah. Yeah. Profound Magician, just want to point this out here. What if WWE builds up Dominic Mysterio to take the belt off Roman and Rey as a first step to building up to it? They got a long way to go for me to believe that Dom is anywhere close to being in Roman's league.
Years away. Uh-oh.
A long way to go.
I heard a Murder Hawk monster. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, he's going to destroy somebody. He is going to destroy somebody.
Tommy End-esque vest. Yeah, that guy right there.
Oh, shit.
Faux Larson.
Hey, it does look like from a long shot. Me with a bunch of tattoos.
Hey, leave my friend alone. Leave my friend alone, Lance Archer. Oh, Larson. Larson dies. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, look at that. Get him, Larson.
Like
that's not going to do nothing. Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Butch Bacon versus Top Notch.
Let's see here. Carlos Diaz. There's a movie marathon organized by Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville to keep the morale on top for the SmackDown crew and talent. The lottery chooses Roman, Jay, and Jimmy to be the ones who bring the movies. Which of the movies screened, including the one Roman sent Paul Heyman to screen because no way he was going personally? Is it going to be a Fast and Furious movie?
Could be.
Maybe that's how the story starts.
Just the Fast and Furious movie he was in.
Roman's watching. He's like, oh, these cars aren't very fast. Rock, you're embarrassing us with these slow cars.
I was promised furious cars.
These cars
seem far too kind.
These cars are just fast. They're not furious.
Yeah. This one here is neither fast nor furious.
I've seen Mad Max. Those are furious cars. And they're fast. Rock gets all offended. Who are these idiots? That's JD Drake. That's
Cesar Bononi, Ryan Nemeth,
Bill
and Peter
Ziegler,
Ever.
Cesar Bononi.
The wingmen, I think they're called. The
Don't they
wingmen.
need like a lead guy? I like those glasses of Peter Avalon's though. Oh man, Cesar looks mean. All right.
Yeah, he does look
Friendo.
mean. White. Oh, you got one. Okay.
Well, it's been a
White
while
Brownie.
since. Yeah.
White Brownie with TakeOver this week, and the Samoa Joe rumor coming out. Is it possible he will show up after Cross retains to challenge him?
Oh.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. I don't know, man. I'm not. It'll be cool. It'd be cool. I don't know. I want to see him challenge Roman. When someone's like got something stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I just want that. Shendo says, at what point do we start worrying about a lack of challengers left for Roman? If we get the 2 to 3 year title reign a lot of us want. I don't think we have much to worry about. I think if you do the math on it, between heel turns, face turns, elevating guys, there's plenty of challengers. You got drafts, shake-ups, call-ups. There's plenty of guys. I'm not worried about that.
Can make it work. Totally make it work. Hip Hop Hippo, is it too far to think they might be willing to let Roman unmask Rey? Would it even matter at this point if they did? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
He stacked Edge. I'm pretty much with you. I'm not going to dismiss it out, completely though.
It's not going to happen at Hell in a Cell. I'll tell you that.
Oh, not at Hell in a Cell. No.
Oh man, Layla Hirsch almost threw that little step stool right at Vicky.
Edge and Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania. Nothing's off the table for the head of that said table.
Zondo, the all-important Rock versus Roman question. Whom will give whom cry face? It's got to be Roman giving Rock cry face.
Yeah, Rock's no stranger to having cry face.
No, Cena gave him cry face.
Yeah. Now, Cena, I feel like, had no problem going for the throat. I think Roman might, because it's less of a shoot. I think like that Cena stuff, it wasn't a shoot, obviously. But I also don't think that Rock necessarily knew Cena was going to say, hey, you got your notes written on your hand.
Oh, I don't think he knew that at all.
Right,
no.
Right. So that aspect of it, I think they kind of went out there and was like, hey, we'll give each other hell, verbally. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's going to be the case with Roman and Rock. I think with Roman and Rock, it's going to be much more collaborative. So Rock will know what's coming, and it'll be all written by Heyman. So it'll be, approved by Rock. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that Rock is going to get Cryface, because Cryface is like that's legit. That's when you've just been unmanned in front of everybody and you don't know how to respond.
Yeah. Yeah. Dangam Q, do you think that Roman should change his signature moves or keep it now that he's a great heel? Just keep it. No reason to change anything.
Roman?
Yeah.
I like him using the power bomb, especially if it's throwing people outside of a ring.
Definitely.
David Matushik, in your opinion, which family is superior in terms of the current storyline between Reigns and Mysterio? Whose is superior?
It was between
Reigns and Mysterio.
Oh, it's not even close. I mean, Reigns by himself is stronger than Mysterio's combined.
I mean, does Mysterio have like extended family, like in the Lucha world, that helps his case at all? Was there?
That I'm aware of.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you're right. It's Roman kind of trumps the entire thing. I mean, unless you were gonna include Dom's real dad, Eddie Guerrero, then you can add the Guerreros in there.
Night by night, earlier today, your doorbell rang. You answered the door to find 13 gorillas seeking assistance. They escaped from the zoo and are hoping to find asylum at your house. Obviously, you don't have the proper accommodations, but you are empathetic and would like to help. What SmackDown superstars you asked to house the gorillas?
Brock Lesnar, he's got lots of land.
That's true. I mean, it says SmackDown superstar, but according to the lower third, Brock's on SmackDown, so that's an acceptable answer.
Thank you. Oh, man, you have the board. Let's see here. Alex Foster says, you guys talk about what main roster could learn from NXT. What could NXT learn from SmackDown? I mean, I would say NXT could learn. I hope NXT goes on the road. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see, I guess, at TakeOver. See what 300 people look like if they bring 300 people every single week.
Yeah.
To the CWC, if that might make things different.
If that might make it a little louder. I mean, in terms of the only thing I could think of maybe is an A story on par with Roma, but we've seen that in NXT before when it was Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah, we're about to see that
before.
again with Raquel and Dakota Kai, by the way. That's going to happen.
But the thing about that, though, is you can't do that all the time to that level. You know, you got to have those stories. They run their course over a year, 2 years, whatever, and you got to dial it back. You can't just manufacture that stuff. It's not possible to do something like that all the time. You know, you can tell interesting, captivating stories all the time, but to the level of what Roman's doing now to what Gargano and Ciampa were doing, that's lightning in a bottle, you know?
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah. I really wish that they would incorporate a different form of capturing what should be private conversations. The Uso stuff was so good, but I'm just the whole time thinking, why is that camera just sitting there?
Yeah.
Like they can't just for once do some like, I mean, every once in a while, like main roster from time to time, they'll do something where like a camera will catch something down the hallway a little bit. I wish they would do that sometimes.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's see here. Chris Herndon, on a scale of 1 to a semi-truck plowing a car, how bad did that Dominic spot suck? So in kayfabe,
all the suck.
It's definitely goes past semi-truck plowing into a car.
Yeah. Jonathan, if The Rock can try to big dog Roman, like you said, but Roman can come back with The Rock isn't in the family business their family built. He abandoned the family legacy, and Roman feels disrespected by that. That's something.
I think there's a lot. I think that Heyman, if Heyman is sort of given the ball with, hey, you've got the biggest Hollywood star in history in this family, you know, what's the story going to be? I'm really, really interested to see what he comes up with and what the process would be like, you know, working with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Eddie Brock's Venom. I love this question. Can you guys honestly tell the difference between Jimmy or Jay? I can now. I totally can now. Now it's not even a hesitation.
The easiest way is Jay has a little gray at his beard now.
Well, they have completely different facial hair for one thing, and hair in general.
Jimmy's hair is longer,
and Jimmy's hair is longer. Jimmy doesn't wear ridiculous shirts that say things like right hand man, but also just facially, I can tell the difference now.
Yeah,
there's minor differences that before I found a really, really hard time. Like even the two names Jimmy and Jay are like kind of similar, but now Jay is such a distinct personality, the way he's portrayed, and Jimmy is as well. I can totally, and I do have the confidence that like down the line, no matter how they mix up their hair and stuff, I'll be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. Z George wants to know the best wrestler in NXT, WWE other than Roman, AEW other than Kenny, and from outside of those companies. So who's the best wrestler in NXT in your opinion, Steve?
Probably Adam Cole or Io Shirai. One of those two.
I was going to say John.
Yeah, that I originally thought about John. I was like, oh, but Adam. So, yeah, it's one of those three, I would say.
In WWE main roster, except you got to take Roman out of the equation. Who's best?
Oh, man. You know, dude, some people might say this. I get the feeling, although we don't get to see it as much, might be Seth. Might be Seth Rollins. We just don't get to see it that often. So, you know who it probably is? On main roster, it's probably Matt Riddle.
I'm going to say Sasha Banks.
Yeah, it's either Matt Riddle or Bayley. That's what it is.
AEW other than Kenny.
Oh, it's Phoenix. Clearly,
Phoenix.
It's Rey Phoenix. That's not even, yeah.
And outside of, who's the best wrestler outside of those promotions? Okada. Or Shingo.
Yeah.
Or Shingo.
Yeah, I'd probably still say Okada.
Yeah. Profound Magician. Let's say Roman holds this title up to Mania. What are the odds that ends up being Drew McIntyre who faces Roman and takes the belt off? I mean, there's a story there if that's the story you want to tell, but I don't think it's terribly likely.
0. None. I don't know. I don't think they really know. There is no clear. There isn't even like an Ilya type whose story is like, hey, I got to come back from this. You know, I mean.
Well, the closest they have is Drew. That's the closest story they have to that. where Drew gets kind of humiliated to build the Survivor Series, and he's still, puffing his chest out, loses because of Jay,
Yeah, but you know what would be, and I don't think this is the case. You know what would be so awesome is if it was Jay.
I know.
It would be so great if it was Jay. Oh, God, that sucked.
It's been a good match.
Layla Hirsch is a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah.
That's a finishing move right there.
That was a solid bout there.
What about Impact? Who's the best wrestler in Impact?
Man, there's a lot of contenders in that X division. Ace Austin, great. Trey Miguel's pretty good. Chris Bay is great. Josh Alexander can make a case.
Is great, yeah.
Ooh,
Deonna Purrazzo might be the best wrestler on the roster. Yeah, she's so good.
EV says, you guys get a Super Bowl ad. Hope one's just given to us. We don't have to spend money on it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What teams do you want to play in that Super Bowl, and who do you want to win? It's got to be my team versus your team. It's got to be Eagles Patriots, right?
Patriots versus the Eagles, yeah.
And of course, we'll pick our respective teams to get that W.
Yeah, I like it. Anthony R. asks, do you think with the return of live events that we won't be seeing this many rematches on Raw and SmackDown? I'd love to say that's the case. I just don't think it is.
I don't think it's going to matter.
That they would book it the same regardless if there's rematches. I feel like Vince might go through a phase where he gets tired of so many rematches. I mean, they literally had a clause where automatic rematches weren't a thing.
Yeah, I don't think being in front of live fans is going to change that whatsoever, though. YouTube, Ian, what's Roman's rating on WWE 2K 2021, but 22 going to be?
110.
99 is the highest possible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be the highest possible. All right. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Twitch chat, stick around for a bit. We're going to do our Dynamite recap on Monday during Monday's show. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.